And welcome back inside Greater Zion Stadium. This is the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Rod Zundel along with Max Christensen III. You watch this game on ESPN Plus and listen to it here on the Fan Sports Radio. Trailblazers losing 13-7. First of all, let's talk about the positives. What did you like about this Trailblazer team that gives you hope?
I like the way they were able to run the football, and it was running back by committee, and they were able to do a lot of good things that way. I also like the way their defense played. They bowed up in the red zone. They forced a turnover, which was really good with what they've done on the season, and they were able to be staunch when it was necessary. They made plays in the field when it was necessary. They were able to adjust to the zone read in the second half and play it a lot better than they did in the first.
One of their best defensive performances, that's for sure. Total offense, 311 yards for Austin Peay, but only 214 total yards for Utah Tech. Brenton Stone came in, Chris Street out. He led the team in rushing with 9 carries, 44 yards. Bronson Barban, 13 of 26, 72 yards, 1 interception. Just talk about his performance and what that defense of Austin Peay did to limit the big plays, because there are really no chunk plays across the middle especially.
He got harassed a lot today, yeah. Bronson did, in the pocket. He had to step up a lot. He had to move a lot. He was sacked a couple times. Even on some of his good throws, he was getting hit right in the chops. And so I thought he did a good job of being able to make throws while under duress, while getting hit. But again, as you said, they gave up no plays over the top, no big plays, no chunk plays, and you saw the offense just kind of stalled a little bit. Utah Tech had one good drive, but once they were able to stall, they weren't able to get back going.
Eni Falahi, the tight end hybrid receiver, 6'4", 240, after missing 6 games, back today for his first game in a couple of months. 4 targets, 4 receptions, 16 yards. So they tried to get the ball to him in the second half, non-existent in the first half, but nothing to stretch the field. This field was not stretched by anybody, and because of that, the running game was non-existent.
Yeah, they weren't able to go over the top. They weren't able to get Austin Peay on their heels. There weren't anything that scared Austin Peay that, hey, these guys could go for big yardage here very soon. It was methodical. It was a little bit lackluster when it came to big plays.
104 yards rushing for Utah Tech, 218 for Austin Peay. All right, we're going to go to our Burt Brothers Doing It Better player of the game, and I know who I want. Are you going to go with it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are going to go with our Burt Brothers Doing It Better player of the game, linebacker Brevin Hamlin. Brevin, today for the 3rd straight game, led this Trailblazer defense in tackles with 12 and also had a forced fumble at the goal line when they were going in for the touchdown, which would have sealed the game. We thought it could be game-changing. It didn't turn out to be that way, but Brevin Hamlin is our Burt Brothers Doing It Better player of the game. Listen to Devin Dixon on the drive Monday morning on the Fan, and when they talk about Brevin Hamlin and the Burt Brothers player of the game, listen to their commercial. You'll hear a code, and that code can help you get a discount your next trip to Burt Brothers on Sunset. All right, talk about the defense, especially Brevin Hamlin. He was all over the place, and the last 3 games been playing some of the best defense we've seen in a Trailblazer jersey for a while.
Brevin, especially today, kept giving them chances. He gave them chances to win, to stay in the game. As you said, forced the fumble on the goal line. Yeah. When if Austin Peay scores that, the way this game ended up, that was the game over. That was the nail in the coffin right there. But Brevin was able to extend this game, give them life, and he's able to come down from his safety position and do a lot of different things across that defense to be effective, to be physical, and set a tone that's needed.
Yeah, we're waiting for head coach Lance Anderson to join us up here. He's going to make his way after the talking with his team in the locker room, make his way up top here. And you know, what do you think the mood is in the locker room? Because they played better. There were moments, but they just kind of the same old story. They can't finish it off. There were blocks that were missed. There were drops. Same thing that Coach Anderson has been talking about every single day of this whole season.
The mood's probably somber. That's the word I would use, especially because it's hard when a team that's better than you beats you, right? It's harder when you beat yourself, right? Like as you said, blocks missed, things they weren't able to capitalize on a lot of stuff. Austin Peay didn't give them a ton, but this was a pretty evenly matched game as we saw. This final score is 13-7. Yeah. So that is more a loss when you lose a close game. you look way more in the mirror on there are 3 or 4 things we could have done to win this football game rather than, those guys were a flat-out better football team than we were.
And with all that being said, Trailblazers had the ball twice in the final 4 minutes, going 75, 80 yards. Didn't get a first down on either possession.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to take a break. Hopefully when we come back, Coach Lance Anderson will join us. Once again, the final score, Austin Peay comes into St. George and leaves with a 13-7 win over Utah Tech. Back after this.
D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder, but with a local heart. Nestled just west of the Sand Hollow Recreation Area is a 600-acre master-planned community with beautifully designed single-family homes, cottages, and townhomes called Long Valley. Visit us at drhorton.com and join us in continuing the American dream of home ownership and build your next home with D.R. Horton, America's builder.
Experience the magic of southern Utah from the sky and the ground at Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons. They take you on breathtaking journeys across the stunning landscapes of St. George, Hurricane, and beyond. But why just visit when you can live here? Priority First Real Estate is dedicated to helping you find your dream home. Together, they bring you closer to the community, closer to nature, closer to home. Confetti Pebbles Hot Air Balloons and Priority First Real Estate, where adventure meets home.
Hey there, sports fans. Ready to take a time out from the sidelines and jump into the action? St. George Regional Airport has you covered. Score big with convenient flights that take you from our Red Rocks to destinations around the globe. Whether it's the bright lights of L.A. or an exotic getaway across the Pacific, your adventure starts right here at home. When you're planning that epic getaway, St. George Regional Airport is your home field advantage.
All right, welcome back inside Greater Zion Stadium. 13-7 loss for Utah Tech. Rod Zundel back here on the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry postgame show with head coach Lance Anderson. All right, Coach, just give us your overall thoughts on what happened today. A defensive struggle, opportunities missed.
Yeah, I mean, it was good to be in a game from start to finish. It was good to have a game that really comes down to the last play of the game, that we were in it all day long. The guys fought hard all game long. But again, lack of execution, missed opportunities, just the lack of doing fundamental things, especially, on the offensive side of the ball. We got to block people. We got to give our quarterback time. We got to give our guys in the perimeter room to run. We just have to be more physical. We have to execute those blocks to, give us a chance to be successful.
Before we talk about the offense, let's talk about the defense. Only one really big chunk play, and that was the second play of their first possession for a 52-yard touchdown on a Wildcat. And other than that, it would just, if this was a grass field, it would just be muddied right in the midfield.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we gave up a couple big plays, and that first one really made the difference. Yeah. We had a safety who was responsible for the Wildcat quarterback there and didn't do his job, and it turned into a touchdown. And that's we have to get better at learning our lesson from that. You have to execute. We gave up another long pass where we got beat on a double move, but the great deodorant there was, forcing the fumble.
Yeah.
But again, we can't have those big plays.
Speaking of forcing that fumble, Brevin Hamlin, 12 tackles, third straight game. He's led this defense in tackles. Also that forced fumble. Thought that would be a game changer there, and you could take the momentum, but it didn't turn out that way. Just talk about his play and what he's done the last 3 weeks.
Oh, I mean, almost the entire season. I mean, maybe Brevin's had one game where he wasn't himself. Other than that, he's played very solid all season long. Real sure tackler. I mean, he's got such great length that he does a great job in the pass game, run game, and he's just a kid that doesn't say a whole lot. He just comes to work every day and does his job. He's a guy you can count on.
Yeah, offensively, 73 yards passing from 72 yards from Bronson Barbin, 13 of 26. Your assessment of him, he did seem like he hurried a few throws there, especially in the first half.
Yeah, he did. I think he, for the first time was maybe – a little anxious and overthrew a few things. But then, again, we got to go back and check the film. But it looks like he was kind of rushed and pressured all game long. And it's just hard to operate when you don't have time to go through your progression. So, I'm sure we'll see a lot of things where he can improve and get better. But just we have to be better protecting him too.
Only 4 guys caught a pass. Eni Falai, first game back in about 2 months after missing 6 games. Didn't get a target to him until the second half. 4 receptions, 16 yards. working him back slowly.
He is. He's still working his way back. I mean, really practicing for the first time last week after being out for 6 weeks. So that's a long time to be off. It was just great having him back, and he's going to get better down the stretch here as long as he can stay healthy.
With Chris Street out, Nigel Osborne only had 3 carries in the previous 3 games, and Bretton Stone got the bulk. Nigel ran hard, 5.2 yards a carry. That was good to see him run hard.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see those other running backs step up because Chris Street is a very talented running back. But, between Nigel, Bretton Stone, I mean, Kona Kroll had a couple important third down conversions for us. So it was great to see those guys step up. Hopefully we get Chris back soon because he is very talented. Yeah. But those 3 are very dependable guys.
Okay, we hit the road now, still in search for that first win. What can you build on from here, knowing that you were in a one-possession game? They had that feeling that the game was in their reach.
Exactly, and I think that's what our guys have to build on is, hey, we were in this football game from start to end, and now we see how 1 or 2 plays can make a difference in the game. And this is why it's so critical that we have to do a better job of executing. We have to do a better job of capitalizing on these opportunities that are in front of us.
Final thoughts before we let you go, or is that it?
My big message to the team is, hey, we've got to still continue to believe. We've got to continue to fight. We've got to continue to just play this game like we love it. We're having fun doing it. We do that, we're going to earn that victory, but we're not there yet.
All right, head back out on the road for our final flight on a road trip of the season. We'll be in Richmond, Kentucky for Eastern Kentucky next week. Take a break. Max will rejoin me to wrap this thing up. 13-7, the final here. Utah Tech with a 6-point loss.
Welcome to St. George Academy, home of the Dragon Slayers, where academic excellence meets individualized learning right here in Southern Utah. At St. George Academy, we believe in challenging our students with rigorous curriculum, preparing them for a demanding college experience and beyond. And it's all tuition-free. Our unique Pathway University program offers accelerated courses, allowing students to earn college credits in high school. Experience the St. George Academy difference, schedule your tour today, and join us on your educational journey.
Yesco is a proud partner of Trailblazer Sports Vision and Utah Tech Athletics. Yesco specializes in manufacture of custom electric signs and displays. From the smallest to the largest, Yesco can design, manufacture, install, and maintain an identification package that is tailored to your specific needs. Yesco has been serving Utah businesses for well over 100 years with quality signage and exceptional service. To see how Yesco can serve you, go to yesco.com.
Craving something sweet but healthy? Come to Berries and Cream, the original spot for fresh berries in our delicious sweet cream. Locally owned and operated right here in St. George. We offer a cold, refreshing treat that's perfect for the southern Utah climate. Fresh fruit has never tasted so good. Berries and Cream, the original taste of St. George.
All right, back here with Max Christensen to wrap things up here in Greater Zion Stadium. The final, Utah Tech losing to Austin Peay 13-7. Trailblazers now dropped to 0-8. And they're going to try to break this long losing streak that dates back to last year next week in Richmond, Kentucky against Eastern Kentucky. First trip as a D1 school going back to the Bluegrass State.
Yep.
So what can you take from this? And you heard Lance Anderson. What can you take from what happened today, being in a game, knowing that they had the ball in their hands 2 times in the last 4 minutes with a chance to win it? How can they take this and say, okay, that was the feel, now let's just go and get across the finish line?
What you can take from this is Lance Anderson's been hammering all season. Guys, it's the little things. It's the fundamentals. It's this, it's this, it's this. Now they're in a game where 2 or 3 of those fundamentals change the outcome of the game.
Yep.
Like now he can use this as teach tape and be like, look, yes, we haven't had very many close games this season. Yeah. This is one where this made the difference. Yeah. This is what he's been talking about all season long. And so that's what you can take away from that is, hey, everything that he's been talking about and been preaching, the proof's in the pudding at this point.
Yep. All right, well, we'll see if they can clean it up and get across the finish line next week at Eastern Kentucky. That'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff, 12 o'clock noon Utah time pregame show here on The Fan and Trailblazer Sports Vision. Don't forget the Lance Anderson Coaches Show, 6 o'clock on Tuesday night. Final thought.
Resiliency. Got to learn how to be resilient, bounce back from hard things.
They've had to bounce back a number of times.
Yeah.
Okay. This was their closest.
Yes.
Let's see how they react. All right. Big thanks to Kelsa Lundstedt and Ben Dawson, our Utah Tech student interns, and also Steve Johnson, Sports Information Director here at Utah Tech, for all their help and good work in putting on the pregame show, postgame show as well. That'll do it here in Greater Zion Stadium. For all those guys, for Max Christensen, I'm Rod Zundel. Once again, the final here. Utah Tech losing to Austin Peay 13-7, and they dropped to 0-8 on the season. We'll see you next Saturday from Richmond, Kentucky. Good night, everybody.